What's up? Whoa. All right. What's up, everybody? We're back with episode 2 of Ken and Jake's MMA takes. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the UFC and the UFC 320. What do we got? 326, right?
Five.
Or what is it?
Five.
325. And Volkanovski versus Lopez. It's a great card. And yeah, me and Ken, we're here to talk about it and just talk some shit. Ken, how you been, buddy? We're on the East Coast. How is your how's the snowmageddon doing for you?
It's been great. Been amazing. 18 inches. It's the most I've
Jeez,
ever seen
dude.
before in my entire life. Could never even
18
imagine
inches.
seeing 18 inches. What about
Bro, I
you?
think it's not actually driving's not that bad. It's just like when there's just a lot of snow that's never gonna melt because it's so cold and like here. So since it's so cold, the snow's gonna be around for a while. And my dog Winston, I have a golden retriever, so he really likes to be outside, and that means I'm outside more than I want to be. So it sucks, but they're probably not gonna have to deal with that in where are they fighting this weekend?
Australia.
Exactly,
Sydney.
Ken.
Down
Sydney.
under.
Exactly. From a land down under. All right. So we got some topics we're gonna touch on. And there's one thing that I wanted to hit on because I feel like the state of the UFC's trash talking and like rivalries is at like an all-time low. Would you agree?
I mean, it just depends. I didn't know where you were gonna take this, where if you were gonna talk about how like shitty some trash talking is, or if you were gonna go the route that you did. I mean, I think the trash talk is still there, and I think there are rivalries. So I have to disagree with you there. I think some rivalries are growing. I think I like the trash talk that's going on now. Like, I don't know. Why don't you agree? Why do you think
Well,
trash talk's bad now?
I think like I can't put my finger on it, but I kind of look back at like the old press conferences, like DC and John Jones, and like the McGregors and Aldo, and even like McGregor Habib, obviously. That like doesn't happen anymore. Like that type of arguing. Obviously, McGregor was at an all-time high of shit talking and making people angry at him. But even Chael Sonnen, I feel like there's not like personalities right now that are based on shit talking. I mean, Colby Covington, but he's somehow ranked, even though he's been pretty on the downhill recently.
So
Um,
you just feel like it's forced nowadays? Like,
I feel like a lot of the trash talk is less face to face, and it's a lot of like social media stuff. I feel like even like I don't know if you saw the other day, but Arman went on Ariel's show, and he said something about pattypimlet.com or whatever. It's like just like talking crap about Patty on that show. Um, I just kind of feel like it's not as face to face. Like, obviously, it's kind of a liability for John Jones and DC to go and fight each other at a press conference. But, dude, that makes the fight so much more interesting, you know?
I feel like nowadays, like there was so much animosity between certain people back in the days, but that was because people were touching on subjects that, some people call off limits, like family. But you do get that nowadays. Like it is more social media. I mean, that's the age that we live in. But like
Yeah.
nowadays, like Patty, I think, said something about Dan Hooker's mother. Like Dan Hooker couldn't save his mother from being raped. Like that was what he said. And then Dan Hooker took that as like, saying something about like his mom, obviously. So I mean, there's trash talk and the line does get crossed. Like I'm sure when Ilya comes back, like I think people are gonna be saying some stuff about his divorce and stuff, building
Yeah,
up
I
that
guess it's going
fight.
to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard for him,
And even
depending who he's fighting.
even Ilya, like his trash talk, like he's kind of like doing the McGregor thing where he's picking, oh yeah, I'm gonna knock you out in round one. I'm gonna choke you out, like that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
calling a
doing like
shot and he's
the.
doing it.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying there. I guess I kind of want to see more of like the pre-fight conflict, I guess. Like I feel like the when you see when like even talking about Ilya with Charles, I know everybody loves Charles. I mean, even every time Ilya does do trash talking, it's more of like self belief than it is trash talk. You know, like Conor McGregor is like some of the stuff he was saying to Aldo was pretty
He
terrible.
start he
Some
did
of the
start
stuff
out as
that
like
Chael was
self-belief though.
saying, yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I guess it's more on the social media aspect of it now more than it is them having a camera in front of them. Like, I don't think we'll ever see kind of like the Nate Diaz and McGregor. And I know I hit on McGregor a lot, but he was obviously like one of the best at it. But like those types of press conferences are so funny. They just draw you in. They make you want to watch it, you know? But yeah, I guess it's just kind of a different landscape for the trash talk, and they're just kind of doing it in like a different form. I mean, do you think that trash talk, or like even with what Justin said about when Patty was saying that his face wasn't going to be recognizable afterwards, like at what level do you think there's just fighters that take things more personally, or do you think that there are lines that people just do get just generally angry at when they make those types of comments? Because I remember Justin was saying after the fact that he was pretty upset that Patty was making those comments to like a vet, you know?
I mean, obviously there are some things that some fighters are more sensitive about. I don't know, man. Fighters like they're pretty sensitive. I would say that. I mean, Gene Silva, man, most sensitive guy in the world,
Oh
freaking
my
crying,
God, dude.
screaming, dude. He's
Yeah.
excited. Like I don't know, man. I think that it just adds like something to the sport, like
Yeah.
emotion. And I feel
Yeah.
like fighters are very emotional, and sometimes that costs them the win. Uh, but I don't know, man. I think the trash talk is there, and I think it's just a different form. Like you said,
Yeah.
social media. Most fighters nowadays are on podcasts. There's a lot of
That's
like
true.
podcast trash talk. Like it's just different. It's not more face to face and like real animosity as much as it is just talking shit.
Yeah, especially with like how the money has grown in the sport. Whereas like when Tito and Chuck were trash talking, it was more to like they have to put asses in seats to where now the UFC's name just does that. It's not like it doesn't matter who's fighting. They don't have to trash talk for the arena to be packed at a numbered event. It's gonna be packed no matter who's fighting. So they don't really have to do that. It's kind of like Volk. Volk hasn't really been a trash talker, you know? He's super nice. But no, I totally understand what you're saying. Um, Kind of on the trash talk subject, the people who definitely deserve championship shots but haven't got them because they're either boring or people just don't like them. Did you see Eva Livin Murphy on TickPick?
Yeah, it's supposed to be for the London card apparently because Murphy's obviously English. And I could see that being like a number one contender fight. I don't think that
Yeah.
they need it. Like I give either of them the shot, honestly. But
Hmm.
I think Lerone on that. I think I saw him on was it the podcast? Is it TikTok the podcast or
I think so. I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about though.
he was on a podcast and he said that he was offered the fight after he got the KO win. They said that if he does something crazy, he'd get the fight. Volk was calling him out. Fight never like came out, and then he just thinks that it's them trying to get into the Mexican market because Lopez, although he's
Hmm.
Brazilian, is also like has ties to Mexico, and they want to enter that market because it's a big market.
Right. So
So
that
that's
being
why he got the
said,
fight.
yeah, that being said, do you think the UFC, not like Dana White, is going to fighters and saying, "Hey, if you do this, you'll get this or that"? But do you think something like that's going on? Like, obviously, are they making promises they're not keeping? Essentially, do you think?
I don't think they're making promises per se that they're not keeping because last week Natalia Silva versus Rose, Natalia was promised a title shot if she won. Dana White was asked at the press conference, "Hey, you promised Natalia a title shot if she won," and he was like, "Yeah, I did." So I mean, obviously, I guess she's gonna get the title shot next. I mean, unless it doesn't happen, I get
Yeah,
um I get Lerone, but like before that, he had like a war with Josh Emmett. It's the most boring
yeah,
fight ever.
yeah. He didn't
Like,
necessarily have the resume for him to get a title shot,
yeah, he got
but
one crazy knockout. Does that
Yeah.
earn you a title shot? I get that he's ranked what, number two? No, number four. Is he four or two?
I think he's Lerone Murphy. I couldn't tell you. I
I
think
think he's
he's.
I think he's either
I think
two
he's
or
two.
four.
Yeah, I think he's two.
But
But
still, don't think
yeah,
that's enough to get you the title shot. Just one. It's an entertainment business. People say it's a sport. It's more entertainment now than anything. It's still a
yeah,
sport, but at the base, like it's all about entertainment. They
yeah.
just
They
signed
want
that huge
Diego to
deal with
win.
Paramount.
Yeah,
Come on, they need the money.
yeah. They don't want Lerone to get that belt, baby. Dana hates Tom right now, so he probably just doesn't want a British guy to win another belt.
That's true.
Um. So speaking of champions, I asked Ken, or I guess we decided that we were gonna do a little bit of a ranking here of entertainment value for our fellow UFC champions. I say fellow, not I am never I'm not a UFC champion, but the champions that are holding the belts right now, we wanted to rank them from the least entertaining to most entertaining. So I thought it was a lot. So I kind of wanted to just say my three least entertaining and my three most entertaining.
Okay.
But Ken, I want to give you the honors. Who do you think are the three least entertaining UFC fighters?
Now, you didn't specify if this was just men's or women's, so I did both.
Me too. So good. Good
Okay.
job.
Okay. So coming in at number 11, the least entertaining champion currently, the greatest of all time, Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh my God, I have Valentina too.
if you want to if you want to watch 25 minutes of someone just completely like just wrestling, just
If you
holding
need a
someone
fight
down,
to go to the bathroom for,
yeah. Walk of the day, any fight for Valentina to go to
yeah,
distance,
over.
man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she
So
was. Yeah,
you
she's
had
my least
Valentina too?
entertaining. Yeah, I had
Okay.
Valentina for my least entertaining, and then for my second to least entertaining, just because of his last fight, and I feel like this is because of how much hype I feel for him when he walks out to like not feel it when he won the belt. Hamzat.
Oh, really? That's why
Yeah,
I had him in the
dude,
middle.
dude. I
I had him in
just
the middle.
think I thought it was just because he burned me out his last fight so hard. And and Robert Whitaker's jaw broke. Like, and I don't,
Yeah.
and that was apparently like something that happened beforehand that like was a liability for Robert Whitaker. So like, you're expecting like him to go and murder someone, but some freak shit happens, or he just goes and lays on someone and doesn't do ground and pound. Because the way he runs out, he makes it seem like he's gonna go in there and stab someone. You
Yeah,
know?
that's why I had him in the middle, dude. Because I mean, yes, it is mainly like just wrestling, and it's like sub or you don't get it. But he had a war with Gilbert Burns, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the more entertaining fights. Like him just rushing Kevin Holland, then like alligator rolling like four or five times, and then him securing the choke to tap out Kevin Holland's dude in the
Yeah.
first round. Like that's crazy. That's entertaining. I had somebody similar but not the same. I had Islam Makhachev as
Islam.
Islam, dude. You want a decision?
Oh,
You want a 25-minute decision? You want to watch 25 minutes of UFC? Just one fight? Throw on an Islam fight. Unless he's going
yeah,
up against somebody like a bottom tier person and he chokes him out in like the first or second round. If he's going up against a top tier guy, 5 rounds, no matter what.
yeah. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. If we're talking about distance fights, Islam's are way better than Hamzat's. Entertainment value.
I don't know, man.
No, because
I
think
don't know.
about it. Think about it. Think about it. Every time that Islam goes to the decision, you think he loses. So like he either did bad or his opponent did good, which is entertaining. Like when you watch DDP and Hamzat, uh,
Dude, okay,
it was
Hamzat,
just so
he has a
bad.
build to it though. He builds it. It's entertaining, man. You go into it and you're like, he's gonna maybe pull out a knife and just shank this guy in the back mid fight.
Yeah,
You never
yeah,
know. And the fact that he
yeah.
can't fight anywhere but Abu Dhabi, man, why
Yeah,
is
that's
that?
true. And he gets sick all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I will settle it with this. I think that when it doesn't go the distance, Hamza is probably more entertaining. But when it does go the distance, Islam is more entertaining because he tends to kind of get in the fire and let Volkanovski, which Volkanovski won that first fight against Islam. I'm just saying that now.
Yeah,
But
I'd agree with that.
he lets people kind of do stuff to him that, besides Renato Moicano, he destroyed Renato Moicano. That was
That
not
was
even
on a
supposed to
few days'
happen,
notice,
dude.
man. Few days'
Yeah, dude.
notice.
Money Moicano, baby.
Or no, that was 1 day notice. That was
Yeah, because
Arman pulling
Armin
out.
pulled out because the back. Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
reason Dana hates his guts. Um, so who do you got third from the bottom for least entertaining?
Man, I don't know if she's gonna be champion anymore. Honestly, she got that neck surgery. Kayla
Kayla
Harrison, dude.
Harrison, who, dude, me too.
Like I just don't get the hype. She's big, dude. Like she can barely make the weight for the championship, like for her weight class. And then
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's not entertaining, dude. It's like Ronda Rousey 2.0. She is better than
Yeah.
Ronda, I think, but
No, I agree
watching
100%.
Ronda fights, dude, all she did armbar, armbar, armbar. Kayla Harrison, rear naked choke,
Yeah.
decision, rear naked
Dude, I
choke.
agree 100%. I had the same thing. She just kind of lay and choke, lay on top like a blanket. She's a blanket. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you can say about Kayla Harrison right now, because that's how she won the belt. Um, but yeah, let's move on to some of the guys that we love to watch. Some of the guys that when they're on the TV, we're watching them no matter
Hey, hey,
what.
hey. Guys or girls. Could be
Guys or
girls. You never know.
girls, guys or girls, guys or girls, because Ken probably has a girl on his list. Um, let's just start from the top, man. Who do you think is the most entertaining to watch?
So I actually have somebody, it's actually two people. Ilya Topuria and interim champion Justin Gaethje. I put those two at the top. I
All
can
right.
They're both champions, same weight class. I just put them both. Uh I mean Ilya, touch of death, dude, and then
Mhm.
Justin. It's always a war. It's always entertaining.
All right. My most entertaining fighter, Ken. Do you have a guess?
Alex Pereira.
Alex Poetan Pereira. Now, what I will say is Ilya does have that touch of death. I feel like more recently Alex has been not more recently because Alex kind of, demolished um what's his name? Dude, I can't think. What's his name? He demolished the other light heavyweight that he demolished. He killed him. But
Yeah,
but
he killed that one guy. He
yeah.
definitely killed that one guy.
Dude, I can't think of his name. Oh my god. But no,
Magomed
Magomed
Ankalaev?
Ankalaev. Yes, Big Big Ank. Alex Pereira killed Big Ank, but I felt like a little like Alex had that decision with Jan, and then he did obviously kill Yuri and them. But I feel like Ilya probably has that scarier like when you get into the pocket, the one touch death, like the left hook or the right hand just murder. Um, but I give it to Alex just because of the like fight pickups, the fighting on short notice, those things, and then what he does like during it. Um, he's just an entertaining fighter to watch, and I feel like the more he learns English, the better. Love the guy. Can't wait for him to fight again. I wonder who he's gonna fight. Right now, he's my favorite fighter, so I probably have a little bias here, but yeah. Who's your number two, Ken?
So this is actually a newly crowned champion.
Newly crowned, huh?
It was a controversial win. Joshua Van. It's all
Joshua
it's
Van.
dude, he goes in there and he just tries to knock somebody out or get knocked out. That's all it
Yes.
is. His fight against Brandon Royval, man. Me, you, Justin. I was like, Justin, put money on Joshua Van
Mm-hmm.
KO. He's getting it. He
Yep.
didn't get it.
Nope.
Justin was mad. But hey, that was my luck. It didn't happen. He won a decision. Tough fight, but
Mm-hmm.
entertaining.
Joshua
Very entertaining.
Van. Joshua
Youngest
Van.
champion.
Yeah, youngest champion. Kind of won it in a fluke way, but you can't knock someone down for that. You know what I mean? Like, he
Hey,
technically, it was because of what he did
His
And that's
defense.
why, yeah, exactly. That's why, yeah, dude, I can't think of their names right now, bro. That's
But
dude. What is his
Pantoja,
name? That's why Pantoja lost his belt to Joshua Van. But if you do
yeah,
watch Joshua Van's fights, if you watch his fights before he had the fight against Pantoja, they're all good bar burners. They're good. He goes in the pocket. He does fight. That was what I thought was going to be his downfall against Pantoja. I personally thought he was going to lose to Pantoja. I thought Pantoja would get him to the ground and submit him, but Pantoja ended up, obviously falling and breaking his arm. Or yeah,
Joshua Van pushed him down.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and Pantoja's arm was like, I'm so scared of Joshua Van, I'm gonna break right now.
He said, "Forget this. I'm out."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for my second entertaining fighter, I picked Volk. I think Volk. I think Volk goes in there. I mean, especially with the two fights with Islam, the one on short notice. And the other entertaining thing about Volk is he always does those skits, those hilarious skits that he's been doing. Did you see the most recent one?
Yeah, where he's the YouTuber, he's a
Oh,
farmer, and then
dude, it's
cooking with
so
Volk.
funny. If anybody hasn't watched it, you have to watch it. I'll put a link in the bottom for it. It's so good, dude. He's actually really funny at the skits. Um, but yeah, I think Volk is super entertaining. I think when he goes into fights, he goes obviously to win. I mean, he's not going there to slide to a decision. He's trying to finish people. You can see that with Yair Rodriguez. I mean, even with the fight against the last fight against Lopez, he was kind of putting on Lopez. I feel like a few times he had Lopez wobbled. He kind of went for the takedown and kind of secured the round. But I feel like he goes in the danger. He gets in the danger zone. Sometimes he gets caught, like by Ilya, which Ilya is actually my third most entertaining fighter, just because of the wow factor of what he does. Little man, big power. Holy shit. But yeah, uh, yeah, I think Volk is entertaining, and then yeah, like I said, Ilya is also super entertaining, and I can't wait till he comes back. But that is going to be a really tough press conference for him, a really tough one. But yeah, who did you have for your third one?
I had good old Tommy Aspinall, dude.
Nice
Tom.
guy, nice guy, Tom.
uh, I know he's not gonna be fighting for a while. Apparently, the eye surgery like didn't fully take or something. He has
Really?
to get like another surgery. I'm pretty sure. But
That's
I mean,
terrible.
he brought like the heavyweight back on this. He put the heavyweight division back on the scene. Like I feel like a heavyweight that can move like him, that can like strike like him, like
Yeah.
him versus Game. Like I feel like he would have ended up winning that match. I he got
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Cyril Gahn is like the dirtiest fighter ever, and I don't know how he
Oh.
gets away with everything. But I
Mm.
feel like Tom would have won the match. I
Yeah, I
mean,
honestly feel like he would have too. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like Tom was kind of going in a little bit with his chin up, but Tom's too quick. He's too fast. He's so fast with his hands. I remember when I was watching him versus Martian Tybura, and he threw I think it was a 3-2, and it was right down the pipe, and it put Martian Tybura down so fast, and I was like, oh my, like you don't see it coming. It's just so quick. But yeah, I hopefully get that rematch in. But yeah, like you said, hopefully Tom can get healed up sooner than later, and that eye will work better than it did before, and Cyril Gahn doesn't go and poke it.
yeah,
Um, in other UFC news, we have Patchy Mix getting cut from the UFC, kind of out of nowhere. Did you see that?
yeah. I mean, he lost both fights, right, in the UFC.
Yeah, he lost both fights, but I didn't see his like what UFC roster watch is on Twitter.
Yeah,
But yeah, it like updates you on all the roster and like who gets released and stuff. And it never had his name. And apparently, yeah, like what you said, after he lost his second fight, he got told he was cut. Which I mean, I was expecting, dude. With speaking of trash talk, he had some of the worst when trash talk backfires type stuff. Like,
yeah.
dude, it was bad. Mario Batista's low key a gatekeeper, you know? Like
You
he's
think
not
so? Super
not letting
Mario.
yeah, dude, not letting too many people get past him. It's kind of like Geoff Neal.
Yeah, Jeff. Do you mean Neil Magny? or oh, Jeff Neal. Okay, sorry, I get those two confused. They're
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same fighter, dude.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Did you see he's fighting in
Um,
Ryzen and he moved up a weight class?
yeah. How do you think that's gonna go for him?
I mean, he literally was like, I can't wait to show what Big Patchy Mix can do. Like, dude, he'll, I mean,
I
it's
hope I
Ryzen,
hope he
so
does
I think
good, but
it's Ryzen, so I think the level of competition is not up to the UFC. But
yeah.
I mean, he was good in Bellator, so I mean, Ryzen, Bellator, probably on the same level. So I'm
Hey,
sure
yeah,
he could do something.
there's no there's no problem with fighting those organizations. It's just no UFC. You're not I don't think you're world champion. You know what I mean? If you're champion of any of those organizations. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um all right, what else do we got here? We got Arman moving down to 145 to fight for the belt. I saw you put that on the notes. What do you think about that?
yeah. He said he has 6 weeks after this fight with Volkan Lopez. He's given the UFC 6 weeks to give him an offer because his coach apparently told him like with his mass he can move down 10 pounds because
Right.
right now he's walking around at 165 and
Okay.
he can easily cut the 20 pounds in like a nice camp. So he said if
Maybe.
well, he said with Justin being champion and Ilya coming back and stuff like that, he thinks that he's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. So he
Yeah, it's
wants
kind
a
of not
title
really there
shot.
for him. Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, I'll take on the winner of Volk and Lopez."
Do you think he has a better chance if Volk or Lopez wins?
I feel like he has a better chance if Lopez wins. I
Yeah.
think he can probably manhandle Lopez a little bit better than Volk.
Yeah, because Volk
Volk,
did a really good job against Islam, remember? Yeah.
yeah, very good wrestling defense. Not only that, he used to be like 300-pound rugby player, so he
Yeah,
does
dude.
have that strength, dude. He has a good
Yeah.
center of gravity.
Yeah, you know it.
I think
Yeah,
Volk would give him a run for his money.
yeah, and it's like, do you know what's funny? And I kind of thought this about the last fight with Patty, and you can kind of not assume it, but make a hypothesis with Arman about this. Who was Patty fighting? Like, who was his last fight before he fought Justin Gaethje?
Michael Chandler.
Right, Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje, I feel, are two totally different fighters as far as like Justin Gaethje, I feel does have skill and does have game plan. Like I feel like Michael Chandler is pure entertainment. As soon as the bell rings, he's going in there to try to throw big shots and do a highlight reel KO. You know what I'm saying?
You got a duck overhand right.
Right,
Every
right.
wrestler does it.
So when Patty beats the living shit out of Michael Chandler and he gets that false confidence, not saying Michael Chandler isn't a great fighter, but what I'm saying is that there's levels. And I do think that Justin Gaethje was a higher level or echelon fighter than Michael Chandler. Do you think that that could be the same thing that happens to Armin if he does fight, say Volk, if Volk does win? Because think of who Armin is fighting. His last fight was Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is not necessarily a champion fighter. He's not like as far as skill wise goes. He's not going
He
to
says it
be
himself. He's a
right,
gatekeeper right now.
right. And I'm not trying to diss him, but I'm just saying. Do you think that that could be a little bit of a determining factor if you were to make a bet on it if Volk was to fight Armin?
Maybe, but like you said, Michael Chandler and Justin are different fighters. I think Patty and Volk are two completely different fighters. I think Volk is more on the defensive. He does apply pressure, but he's in and out, in and out. He doesn't
Yeah,
stay there.
he is really
I
fast on his footwork.
I think that Volk would be able to stop the takedowns and probably win out a decision. Volk does have some power, but I don't know the last time Armin got caught with anything.
Yeah, yeah. So wait, do you think Volk would win or Armin?
Probably Volk, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like personally, it would all depend on the damage Volk takes from this fight if he wins.
Yeah.
If Volk say wins this fight by decision, but gets wobbled bad and gets put into some, precarious situations, maybe take a little bit of time off, come back like GSP and just wrestle the shit out.
Could do
But
that.
yeah, but no, I mean, I think that Arman, you kind of see it with other fighters too. His biggest challenge, I think, would be the weight cut, fighting for the first time a belt with cutting that much weight. But hey, only time can tell. I think that, like you said, the landscape of the UFC isn't really going in the direction where Arman is going to get the belt at 155. So he might have to move down if he wants the belt, unless he wants to fight just for money, which he has enough of that. So you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't really. There's nothing really that is appealing to him besides the belt. So he'll most likely do whatever he can to get down there. All right. So another thing we want to talk about, Paramount Plus. So they obviously have this big multi-billion-dollar deal, and watching the first card felt really good. It was nice. It was cheaper, obviously, and we got 2 pay-per-views back to back, and it's great. We love this. But what is something that you think Paramount Plus could add to their, whether it's service or interface or whatever, that they could add to make the fights more entertaining, or to make the you know $1 billion acquisition better?
So I mean, show the walkouts, man. I don't want to watch commercials. I want to see the walkouts.
Yep.
Not only that, but the corner advice in between rounds instead of going to commercial break.
Yep.
ESPN was great at that. I get they need to make money. I get they need to recoup some of that money with the commercials, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a fight goes, ends in the first round. There's usually a lot of time in between that you can fill. Put the commercials in there.
Right.
Why do you have to put them in right between the round, like right in between rounds or during the walkouts? Like just do
Right.
it like somebody gets knocked out first round. It was 15-minute fight. There like 3 minutes. You got 12 minutes of commercials. Just give me the 12 minutes of commercials, man. I'd rather have
Mhm.
12 minutes of commercials and not the like people at the desk talking about the fight. Like I can watch that at the post show.
Right. Right.
Put
Right.
the
Yeah.
commercials in there.
Exactly. No, I agree. I agree. One thing that I thought that would be really cool if they added. So you know how they always have the X thing where like they always have the fighters and the famous people saying like, "Oh, this person's definitely up 1-0, or this person or whatnot." I think it would be so cool if they kind of did what like DAZN did, and while you're watching the fight, you can vote after each round who you thought won, and it would show a poll of the public's opinion.
Okay.
That would be really cool, I think. And then another thing that would be really cool, and I don't know why they kind of got rid of this, was, do you remember at the UFC Sphere when they had the heart rate monitor mouth guard? I thought that was pretty cool. It read the heart rate, and another thing that I think would be pretty cool, if because I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't be able to do this, because they probably do have sensors in the gloves, I'm assuming, is show the spots on the body where they're getting the most damage. Like you know how like when you watch like when you play UFC, the older games, it showed up as like a redder mark or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that'd be so cool if they could show it as like a graphic of like, yeah, the damage is mainly going here. He's definitely targeting the body. Like 14 out of 35 leg kicks have gone to the or have of kicks have gone to the body in this spot. You know what I mean? Because I know right now they do like head kick or head strikes, body strikes, leg strikes. But how sick would it be if it said left leg 10 strikes, right leg, Because you
Mhm.
have these fighters wobbling, and people are like, well, how many times do you get hit in the leg? Maybe 40, and it'd be so much cooler if they
Once.
could. Yeah, or once,
Once.
like Sean O'Malley. Remember when Sean O'Malley got hit one
Yeah.
time and he crumbled?
Yeah.
But which, dude, just to talk about that for a second, do you remember that fight when Sean O'Malley got hit and he couldn't feel his leg, and all the other dude had to do was like finish him, but he
He just
didn't.
had to
He like,
no, he just had to step back and ask him to stand
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Forced him to
and then
stand because he couldn't stand
yeah,
up.
Sean couldn't continue. Yeah, dude,
Sean just
that was
held him,
crazy,
and Joe
dude.
interviewed him on the ground.
Dude, Throwback Thursday. That's the throwback of the day, bro. That's the stupidest thing, man. Um, all right. So we got the big UFC 325 this weekend. I know we made a few predictions on our last podcast, but we're gonna talk about them again, and we're gonna start from the bottom. And We're gonna say who we think is gonna win and how. So, Ken, be my guest if you'd like to start the card.
Was it Quillum Salkild versus Malarkey? I said
Yeah.
last week Malarkey, dude. I forgot who Quillum Salkild was, dude. Oh
Dude,
my
I
god.
know. I was like, what are you talking
I-
about, dude? Did you see his
dude,
last highlight?
you caught me off guard. I for some reason thought he was like some Russian guy. I had no idea who he was. Salkild, dude. What kind of name is that?
Dude,
I was like, is this a Russian guy that I don't know? No, he's the guy that knocked out Nasrat. And then
dude,
when
yes.
John Anik was saying about Nasrat's family owning a bakery, and then he head kicked him, knocked him out,
Dude, yeah,
and then
he
he
got
got a
hit with that
tattoo.
bread.
He got a
Yeah,
tattoo on his
he
foot.
did. Yeah, you're so
Yeah.
right. Dude, yeah.
Nah, he has
Um,
two KOs in the last three. I think that obviously this fight's gonna end in a KO.
yeah.
Quillum
Yeah,
is gonna win.
I got Kulisakio KO late round one or early round two. I just think he's on the come up, he's on the rise. Momentum is a thing, and I think he's gonna start stacking those KOs. And I think after this opponent, I don't know if Jamie Malarkey's ranked or not, probably not, but um I think after this
No,
fight,
he
if he
got
gets a
knocked out by
highlight,
Roofy.
yeah, if you get and I think if Kulisakio gets a highlight reel KO, which I think he will, I bet you money he'll ask for a ranked opponent after this, preferably like a lower rank, but you know, I always feel like people ask for like too high of a rank, then they get freaking fraud checked. It's the most
Yeah, that
annoying
does
thing
happen.
ever.
Nah, he should call out
Um,
Justin Gaethje.
oh my god, yeah, yeah, that's a good decision. Um, all right, next fight, next fight. Tai Tuivasa and Talison Texera. I went with a round one KO for Talison Texera. I honestly feel like Tai Tuivasa is on his way out as far as commitment goes. I feel like he has a lot of other things outside of the UFC. Talison Texera, anyone who's watching this, go watch his last fight. He is embarrassed of it. He's upset. He wants to destroy his next opponent. He needs this. If Talison Texera loses, he is leaving. He's done. He's going. He's patchy mixing. He's out. But yeah, I think round one KO. Talison Texera too big, too quick. Tai Tuivasa is just kind of uncommitted at this point. I think. Prove me wrong though. Shuey baby, Shuey, prove me wrong. What do you think,
Dude, tell me how Tai Tuivasa is still on this roster.
dude? That's what
He's
I'm
lost
saying,
five fights in a row.
dude. This is
Dude,
what this is what you were
he
saying.
only fights on these
Entertainment.
Australian cards, dude. He only fights on these Australian cards. They're like,
Yep.
oh, it's in Australia. Tai Tuivasa, man. We still got him on the roster. Yeah, somehow,
Yeah, you
five
know
in a
why?
row.
Because there's like 400 of like 21-year-olds shoeing when he walks out, and they love it. They love it, bro. He is pure entertainment. Like that's it. Like he's pure entertainment. And dude, he if no one's ever noticed, he has definitely probably laid off the cardio his last few fights. He's definitely gotten a little bit bigger. You know, that heavyweight, not weight limit or 265, but he's staying under that, but not really eating under that, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
dude.
no,
I
I
think Taliesin, or as I want to call him, Tollison, dude.
dude,
Six
he is
eight,
so
might as well be
tall.
7 feet tall.
I know, dude. Throw him an alley
Yeah,
oop in the fucking in the thing, man.
yo, this could be a revenge fight actually, because Taliesin actually knocked out Justin Taffa, who's also Australian. So Ty
Dude,
coming for that revenge, man. Now I
dude,
think
this is
Talison's gonna win. He's too tall. Too
yeah.
tall, Taliesin.
You think round
KO,
one?
KO, KO first, second round. If
Yeah,
he goes past round two, honestly, might just be a decision win. They both might
yeah,
like gas out because they're heavyweights.
yeah, yeah. Hey, anyone betting? No, anyone betting? Hammer submission. Just don't do that. It's never gonna
Tuivasa,
happen. Yeah,
Tuivasa by sub.
Tuivasa by arm crank. Um, all right, next we got all right, hey, this one I'm gonna. Who do you have for the next one? Come on, I want to hear this,
So Roofy is actually the favorite in this fight, but I honestly think Rafael Fiziev
dude.
could win this, and I have Rafael winning
I
this
have
fight.
Rafael Fiziev by decision.
Do
I
you
have him
by
by
decision?
decision. Yeah, I think if the fight does, I think if it doesn't go decision, I think Hoofy's knocking him out. But if it goes to decision, I think Fiziev is like durable, durable as heck. And I saw this. He looks better this camp than he did his last camp. Um, and I love the charisma. Like, did you see that video he put on Instagram of him making fun of Gene Silva?
No.
Like he put cake or something on a table and he was
Oh yeah,
screaming
yeah, I
at
did
it.
actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
sent me
Oh,
that.
dude,
Yeah.
it was so funny. It was so funny. But I also think it's like I also don't know why, but I also root for like the I don't care vibe. You know what I mean? Like he's such
Yeah.
a like cool guy, like someone you definitely would want to just crack a beer with, you know? And then like Mauricio Ruffy, he's terrifying to me. You know? He's a fighting nerd. Um,
Not
I feel
anymore.
oh yeah, not anymore.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, but
Yeah. Um, I think that Ruffy is going to try to search for a knockout early. I think that he's going to win the first round. He may even hurt Fiziev, but not put him down. And then Huffy will probably gas out, and then Fiziev will take him down in the second round, and then in the third round, Fiziev the whole round. That's what I'm envisioning. What about you?
I think Faziz is gonna get a TKO. I think he's
Really,
just gonna overwhelm him. Like you said, Rufi's
really?
gonna tire himself out hunting for that KO. Faziz is gonna either take him down or just standing TKO, just overwhelm him with strikes, dude. He has
You think
he
it's
has
gonna?
one of Faziz has really serious leg kicks, dude.
They are serious, dude.
He
They're
trains
like put
mainly
you in the
Muay Thai,
hospital type stuff.
so like knees up the middle, elbows. He throws a lot of elbows, leg kicks.
Yeah,
I think he's just gonna overwhelm Rufi, honestly.
yeah. I like we both just said, I think Hoofy's gonna search for the knockout, and it's one of those things where durability and experience is gonna take over this fight. I think, you know, like Rafael Fiziev is not somebody. It's not anyone's first choice on UFC five, but if someone knows how to use him on UFC five, he's someone you don't want to fight against. You know what I'm trying to say?
No idea. I don't.
Rafael Fiziev is like someone that you don't usually expect to do good because he's not like a fighting for the belt, but he's kind of like a gatekeeper, like kinda, you know?
He only has 2 fights in UFC, man.
Yeah, but he's good. Like Fiziev
He
has two
KO'd
fights in the UFC.
No, 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 Roofy. I thought we were
No,
talking about
I'm
Roofy,
talking
my
about
bad.
Fiziev.
Oh,
No, I'm saying
okay, okay.
no, I'm
I
saying Rafael Fiziev. Like he's not anyone's first choice, but he's definitely someone that like when
Oh,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about
Okay.
someone that you don't want to fight, that's who
Okay,
you're
yeah.
thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
no one
I
wants to
agree
fight
with
him
that.
for money, but
Yeah.
they do. He's a hard person to fight. Yeah, Hoofy man, he might just experience and I think experience is definitely gonna take over in this fight. All right, co-main baby. Dan Hooker versus BSD. Last week I was saying BSD. I'm changing mine to Daniel Hooker. Late finish. I think that
What
they. I
kind of
think that
finish?
I
What
think it's
kind of
gonna be
finish?
a. I think he's gonna TKO him. I think he's gonna put him on the ground, kind of like what Dan. Kind of like what uh, kind of like what Oh my god, dude! What was his name? The one that dude, the one that knocked him out.
Oh. Knocked who out?
BSD.
Hanato or Dustin?
No, Dustin. Yeah, Dustin. I think that BSD is gonna get tired, and I think that he might get his nose hurt or he might get broken up because obviously I think Dan Hooker loves to be a brawler and likes to fight, and I think he might create some openings to where he makes a lot of damage on BSD, where that damage is creating fatigue later in the fight, and I think that might be his downfall. Also, we're gonna really see if Dan Hooker's been working on his wrestling, how good BSD is at wrestling. Let's see if BSD has a good gas tank. And even after the fight with Hanato Moicano, BSD kind of looks like he gets hurt, not hurt, but broken up easily. Like his face breaks pretty quick. So I guess we'll see. Dan Hooker, I think, is coming in this fight a little early after Arman. But that being said, he kind of got head butted. His head kind of swelled like a watermelon. And yeah, I feel like if he's going to come into this fight, the best game plan would be to bring it all and kind of make BSD force or make BSD gas out. What do you think?
I think Dan Hooker's only chance is KOing BSD, and I don't think
I
that's gonna happen,
late,
dude.
late.
I don't think it's happening late, dude.
No,
I think I think BSD is either gonna KO him or take him down and sub him, dude. I actually have
early.
BSD as a sub in a parlay later on that we're gonna talk about. I have BSD. That's a good bet for me is BSD by sub because I
Yeah,
think Dan Hooker is very durable. I don't think he's gonna get KO'd, but the sub is there for
yeah,
BSD.
yeah. No, well, I think that it will go later. Um, I think that if it stays striking, Dan Hooker, just pure like street fight confidence. If he starts landing some good shots, come on, that's low key what he has. Street fight confidence.
Yeah, he does
If
have
uh
that.
if he starts landing clean shots, that could overwhelm BSD. But we'll just see. I guess we'll see. This is definitely gonna be a good fight. That's my we'll talk about the bets after. But all right, main event
Hey,
time,
wait, wait, wait,
baby.
wait, wait, wait,
Oh,
wait,
whoa,
wait,
whoa,
wait.
whoa, whoa, what?
You gonna put $20 on that?
No, 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 no.
You're not. Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
So
no,
you're
no.
not that confident that
No,
Dan
not
Hooker
that
is gonna.
confident not that
Okay,
confident
okay,
in
okay,
Dan Hooker. Not that
okay.
confident in Dan Hooker. But
That's what
I
I
do have
thought.
faith. Not confidence, but faith.
Okay.
Um But moving on to the main event of UFC 325 out in Australia, we got Alexander the Great Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Um, Mr. Ken, I will let you take the reins on this one. Shoot me your prediction. Let's hear it.
Volk's only fought twice in the past 2 years, man. He's only fought twice. Diego's
Yeah.
fought twice last year. I think Diego is going into this with a huge advantage. Volk beat Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Volk's going to go in there and do what he did the first time. Diego has the knowledge of what he did wrong in that fight, and he's going to change some stuff. He's not just going to stand and bang. He's going to take him
Yeah.
down. Diego, I don't know if you know this, Alexa Grasso's jujitsu coach. It's
Yep.
Diego.
Uh-huh.
I I think I
100%.
think the first fight he fell in love with the stand up. I think he takes him down. I think this is the swan song for Volk. I think Australia, he retires, he loses. It's not going to be a really bad KO. I think Diego's just going to sub him.
Okay. Okay. That's a really good take. I like that. I like that. I am leaning towards the other way. I would like to put $20 on this. I'll put $20 on Volk. Um,
Okay.
I like to think that Diego Lopez is a crowd pleaser. I like to think that when he's on Gene Silva, looking up at the crowd, smiling, and then throwing elbows down, or standing and banging with Volk, I think he has a little bit of Michael Chandlerism. I think that he likes the crowd. He likes to play to the crowd. And sometimes he stays in spots where he shouldn't be and he doesn't take advantage of his big pluses in the fight when there's big, crazy fans going, ah. Kind of was it, I feel like when he fought Brian Ortega and almost killed him with the overhand and then the left hand that woke Brian Ortega up. I felt like that should have been an easy finish. Easy finish. I felt like Diego Lopez was kind of toying, playing with him, kind of toying with the crowd. I feel like he kind of puts himself in situations where he doesn't necessarily bag himself the victory. I think Volk is a very experienced champion. I think Volk in the first fight landed big shots on him. Don't get me wrong. There was that moment when Diego did drop Volk. Um, but I think Volk can get a 3-2 decision. I think that he can play it safe the first round, play it safe the second round, give up the third round, maybe give up the fourth round, and win the fifth round. I think that it's safer for Volk to win a decision. I think that the only way Volk wins inside the distance is if he hurts Lopez on his feet, and then Lopez like falls backwards, and then he finishes kind of how he finished Jair Rodriguez. But Ken, if Diego Lopez wins by submission, what kind of submission are you calling?
I just RNC baby.
Rear
The
naked
most
choke,
fundamental,
little easy
the most
peasy
fundamental.
lemon squeezy.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
gonna hurt Volk. I see him hurting Volk. He hurt Volk in the last fight. I think it was
Hmm.
round four. Volk got knocked
Hmm.
down,
Yeah.
and he just ran out of time. I feel like he can take what he did in the first fight, build upon that. I don't think Volk has that privilege. Volk fought him, and yeah, he knows what he did in that fight, but that's the only experience he has. He's not
Yeah.
probably going to do much different. All he can do is predict what Diego is going to do different and then try to go off of that. He knows what he did wrong. He knows
Yeah.
why he lost the fight, and he's going to change some things. And I feel
Right.
like I said, he's going to use his wrestling, he's going to use his jujitsu in this fight. He's not just going to stand and bang with him.
I think one thing that is scaring me when you're talking is when you're talking about this in my head, I'm picturing Diego Lopez full mount on Volkanovski landing the same elbows he did on Gene Silva. And if I have to see Volkanovski with a mutilated head like that, I'll be very upset. But we're erring on the side of caution. We're going with Volkanovski decision. Me and Ken are betting 20 on this, and I will be a happy man on Sunday. I hope. I really hope.
Maybe.
But yeah, all right. So let's finish this podcast off with a little funness, right? So me and Ken, we wanted to create a fighter. So we had a few criteria that we wanted to fill, and what I decided on was let's make a fighter using fighters to fill each criteria. So just for example, we have fight IQ, striking, wrestling, BJJ, durability, and conditioning. So just for example, these aren't my actual picks, but if I was just saying an example, I would say fight IQ of Al Quinto with the striking of Habib and the wrestling of, you know, anyone. I'll say mine in a second. But Ken, I would like to hear who your Hall of Fame fighter is. Read it down the
Are we
list,
doing
baby.
all of them at once? I thought we were just going to go back and forth a little bit.
All right. Let's go back and forth then. I like that. I like that idea. All right.
So I'm going to start with fight IQ.
Fight
Probably
IQ.
the smartest fighter,
Let me guess. Hold on. Let me
John
guess.
Jones. John
All right.
Jones.
All right. All right.
John Jones.
Well,
He's the
good.
smartest fighter. He wins, and guess what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. He is the smartest fighter because
Yeah.
he gets away with everything, dude.
Everything in and outside of the octagon. Listen,
Exactly.
John Jones, I will say, is the best adaptive fighter of all time. The out of nowhere elbows he throws, the out of nowhere knees, the crazy
The
spinning
oblique kicks,
kicks,
man.
the
He
oblique
started the
kicks.
oblique kicks
Yeah.
straight to the knee.
Definitely John Jones for fight IQ. I'm 100% with you there. He's my fight IQ guy. I have him as number one on fight IQ and number one on not fight IQ. So anything he does do that's not fighting, I try to stay away from.
That's
Um,
smart.
yeah. All right. So for striking. So when I thought about striking, I was thinking of who is creative and who's somebody that when I think of their striking, I think of poetry in motion, someone that I
You
would
better not.
not want to stand in front of.
You better not be saying Yuri.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's like watching. That's crazy music, bro. That's not poetry. That's like if you drop a pen and you step on it. Um, I got Conor McGregor, baby. Just
Okay.
as a pure striker, the way that he was able to use his lead hand as uppercuts and some of his earlier finishes. I mean, think about his finish against Eddie Alvarez. I mean, come on, that's pure striking at its finest. Even look at his finish against Cowboy Cerrone, the head kick. You got to give it to him. He has a really good striking. Um, but yeah, I would have to give my striking to Conor McGregor. What about you?
It's someone that Conor McGregor actually fought before. It's
Hmm.
actually it's actually the best boxer in the UFC.
Max Holloway.
Exactly. He has to be, man.
Um,
I think he has the
Matt.
most significant strikes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Max is the best like volume boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like he is someone that can land 10 shots on you and you miss 30. Like it's crazy. You throw 30, he's missing everyone, then he's hitting you something every time. And then Max Holloway, he's just it's not powerful, but it's doing damage over time, you know? I mean not to VOLK, but everyone else. But
I'm surprised neither of us picked Ilya, dude.
the reason why I didn't pick Ilya was because I think Ilya is a like he's not like a big 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes combo guy. He's like sets up 1, 2 or sets up a 3 punch combo or it's all counter. You know, like think about it. When he knocked out Charles, it was that dip inside right hand, and then when he knocked out Volk, it was the same counter. It's a counter shot. Even when he knocked out, remember when he knocked out what was that dude that hurt him and then that he knocked out right afterwards. Anyways, it was a slip body shot right hand. It's a lot of setup shots, not necessarily pure combo striking, like a flow of striking. No, but Ilya definitely does have devastating power, and his combos are set up good, but I don't think that it's necessarily as good as striking as a whole as Connor. But yeah, that's just me. It could anyone else could say that Ilya's better. Um, Wrestling. I said Islam. I said Islam. I
Same,
think
hey, same but different.
okay. Okay.
Chimaev.
Shemaev. Okay. See, I think Islam. I was thinking of putting Chimaev, but when I thought of Chimaev, I thought of pure aggression wrestling. When I think of Islam, I think of more like creative takedowns and adaptive takedowns. And I like to think of that takedown he had on Dustin. Do you remember the takedown he had on Dustin?
No.
Crazy, different, wild. Some trips that he has are good. Hamza is better at like keeping them down. Obviously because Volk, I would say, had better wrestling defense than most anyone against Chimaev. But yeah, I think Islam has I would make my fighter have Islam's wrestling, because also if I said win the belt, he would try to go for finishes, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. I just feel like Chimaev, his aggression, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
he's very aggressive. He has great wrestling, keeps him down. I feel like he's just overwhelming. Whereas what is it, the Dagestani handcuff? Like that's what like Khabib and Islam
Yeah,
do. Like
yeah,
they just smother you and just keep you down. But like you said, Volk was able to get out of that. I think
yeah.
what's his name even did a good job.
JDM,
Australian guy. Yeah, JDM, dude.
JDM.
He did a great job. Just
He did
not
good.
he didn't get subbed. He didn't take much damage, and Islam just kind of laid on him. At
Yeah,
least
you're right.
Chimaev
You're
like
right.
goes for a finish, and if his wrestling doesn't work, then he'll just fuck it. He how many subs did he have against DDP? He tried so many subs,
He
so
did
many
try.
attempts.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I feel like Chimaev. I wouldn't be hating so hard if he just tried to ground and pound more. You know.
Or if he fought more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like don't fight 3 times in 4 years. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. I'm sticking with Islam. I think Islam. I would be. I think Islam has more ways as a wrestler to get me down on the ground. I think Chimaev just runs at you, gets you in a double, and then takes you down, or gets behind you and picks you up and throws you down. Don't get me wrong, it's uncomfortable. He's gonna pick you up and bring you across the cage and yell at you and then throw you. But you know, I think Islam is more of an adaptive wrestler. I think that
Okay.
Islam can still wrestle when he's exhausted. I think that Chimaev might have a little bit more problem with that. And I think you can see that with the Gilbert Burns fight.
A little more bitch in him.
A little bit more bitch in him. Yeah.
Okay.
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Ken. Who's your Brazilian Jiu Jitsu DNA and your guy?
Okay, so We're talking about does it strictly have to be UFC? Because I wasn't sure. I did pick a guy outside the UFC.
I did
Because you said
UFC, but
this
I
is
have a
this
feeling
is
who you
fighter,
picked. You picked
fighter in
Craig
general.
Jones.
I did pick
You
Craig
picked
Jones,
Craig Jones.
obviously.
Okay. All right, Craig Jones,
Obviously.
baby. Woo!
Why
Love Craig
why
Jones.
would you not pick Craig Jones?
Not Craig Jones. Yeah, right. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Craig Jones is hilarious. I love Craig Jones. He is funny as hell. Um, but if we were gonna stick in the UFC, who would you pick?
Probably Charles,
Dude,
honestly.
me too. Because I think Charles is he has that type of BJJ where if you hurt him, and he goes to his back, you can't just like follow up. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants to. And if they
Nobody wants to
do,
get in
they
that guard.
lose.
Yeah, they lose. They're gonna get choked out or whatever. Charles is the only guy where getting hurt standing up sometimes benefits him. He could take a
Yeah.
breather, you know? Um, but yeah, Charles all the way. So yeah, we're tying. We're gonna tie in the BJJ. Um, durability, baby. I got Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz, baby.
Why the hell would you pick Nate Diaz, dude?
He's been knocked out like one time in the UFC.
Dude,
Knocked out one time.
my pick is so different than yours, and it's only for one specific fight, and that's Rory McDonald when he fought
Oh
Robbie
my
Lawler.
God,
Oh,
Robbie and Rory
that
bringing up the freaking throwback.
that fight only. I want Rory McDonald from that fight only, dude. I've
Dude,
never
that has
seen
to
a
be
guy die so many times in a fight and just
that has to
not
be
go
one of the
down.
coldest photos. When they're
Yeah.
looking at each other. Crazy, dude. That was glory days, man, for the UFC. And then wasn't it after that fight, Rory McDonald was never the same. Never. Never the same
Yeah.
after that. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, I got Nate because you know, Nate has durability. Conditioning. I think we both. If you don't have this guy, then I don't know if you watch UFC. I got Marab.
Oh, I actually had a woman.
What? Who? Over Marab?
No, I had Marab.
Okay, I was like, who?
Obviously, you
I was
have
like,
to have
Marab.
Marab, dude.
Marab goes running right after he wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marab's conditioning is unmatched. It's got, I think what sucks about this is that we've kind of created the same fighter, except
Kinda.
kinda. So I think conditioning, obviously we're tied. Our fighter would not have an upper hand there. Durability though. Now I would honestly I'd give Nate the upper hand on durability here.
Why would you give Nate the upper hand on that?
And over who'd you say?
Rory McDonald when he
Rory
fought Robbie
McDonald.
Lawler. Only that fight.
Only
Only
that.
that
Well,
fight.
okay. If you're only
You
doing
did.
that fight, you got to give it to Rob because it's like one of the best fights of all time. But I would say in an all-time career, Nate is durable. Nate is durable. And Robbie, you got to give it to Robbie too. Robbie's lip was split in
Yeah.
half. He
Yeah.
also is durable. BJJ, obviously we're tied up because Charles. Wrestling, pure wrestling match. Who wins, Islam or Chimaev? You think? If it's like a 15-minute, 5 minutes, just wrestling.
The bigger man, Hamza Chimaev. Come on. He's so much bigger. He probably walks around 225.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Listen, I think if Islam was to out wrestle Chimaev, his defense would have to be really good, and he'd have to gas Chimaev out, and then he'd have to get control, and he'd have to just, get behind him, trip
That's the
him.
one thing that could happen is Chimaev gassing out. I will say
Yeah.
that. I don't think Islam's
Yes.
gassing out.
Yes. Striking. Who'd you pick again?
Max Blessed Holloway,
Dude,
the best boxer in the
I already
UFC.
got a victory on your ass.
No
Connor
way.
already won.
Okay, but that was so many years ago. Max has gotten so much better since then. And what's
Mac, if
Connor
we're
done?
talking about
Lost a
today,
boxing fight against Floyd Mayweather.
listen, if we're talking about today, my fighter would never pass a drug test. All right.
That's true.
But all right. I will be honest. If okay, my fighter having the fight IQ of John Jones with the striking of Conor McGregor, having the wrestling of Islam with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as Charles, while having the durability of Nate and the conditioning of Marab, I believe if we went to a decision, would beat your fighter. But
Hold on.
holding
Should
on.
I tell you? Should I tell you who I actually had for durability?
Yes.
Because obviously Rory
Yeah,
McDonald from
yeah.
the
The
one
career
fight.
is off for that one.
I have someone who just recently fought, Patty the
Uh
Batty Pimblett.
oh my god, you're so right, dude.
Scousers don't get knocked out.
Dude, oh my god, you know what I was thinking too? When you know you're durable? When Dana says, "Hey buddy, let me take a picture for my Instagram."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think if it was inside the distance, your fighter would win because of Chimaev's DNA of aggressiveness. You
Yeah.
know, I think so. I have to give it to you inside the distance. As if it was a more exciting fight, Ken's fighter would probably beat mine. But if we're talking about a boring 5 round decision where you may fall asleep in the middle of round 3, Jake's taking that bag.
Yeah.
Jake is taking that bag.
Especially if Nate Diaz posts up against the cage
Oh my god,
and
dude!
just
If he does
decides not to
anything that
fight.
he did in the Tony Ferguson fight, god damn, dude, that fight was crazy. It's wild, man. It's so crazy because the UFC is in such a funny spot right now. I think, like, remember when like it used to be such a different world with fighting, you know?
It did used to be different, honestly. Like it's gone through so many changes and so many different levels of competition. Because you had Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. Frank Mir beat him in like the first minute with a heel hook, and then
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar came back and just beat the shit out of Frank Mir. Got him against the
yeah,
cage, was pounding him with his like triple XL size gloves, just pounding him on the
yeah,
face. And then you had like Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell. Like it was just mainly boxing back then. And
yeah,
then it transitioned into, you know, wrestling. And now I think it's a huge mix of actual mixed martial arts.
yeah.
Like
What I was gonna
you
say is,
can't win with one thing.
I feel like the playing field is so much more even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were fighters like obviously when Anderson came, dude. When Anderson came and fought Forrest Griffin, dude, it was like watching two totally different levels of fighters. Now, most championship fights, I mean, I'm more than half of them go to decision, and a lot of them aren't clear victories, and even just main cards, a lot of the fights are more even, and I think that's why a lot of people think it's crazy when we see like Alex get knocked out or like Volk getting knocked out. It's just crazy because we get so attached to these fighters, as fans, and it's just crazy how big the sport has gotten from like the late 90s, early 2000s to now. Like now they are on Paramount Plus and they came from what? Nothing. It's just crazy. We would like to thank you guys for tuning into episode 2 of Jake and Ken's MMA takes. Ken, what would you like to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say I really appreciate your $20 free donation. Jake over here, uh, just giving me $20. I really appreciate that. And just stay tuned for the next episode.
Yep. All right, guys. Hey, we will be back. I will be $20 richer. I will not be giving Ken $20 because Volk is going to win by decision. Mark it on your calendars this Saturday at around 10:48 p.m. But yeah, we will probably be back on Monday around 7 a.m. That's when the episode is going to upload. So yeah, guys, we will see you after the fights. Thank you guys for tuning in and catch ya.
Catch ya.